Healthy branding reflects reality. Organizational arrogance tries to replace reality with perception.
Hey, what's going on, our LTUI family? I am here with Demetrius DJ Rowland, Leadership Research Associate and Media Strategist with LTUI Consulting. His work focuses on leadership communications, employee engagement, organizational effectiveness, and helping translate research into practical strategies leaders can apply within their organization. So, DJ, you want to introduce yourself a little bit?
What's up, guys? I'm DJ. I serve as the Leadership Research Associate and Media Strategist for LTUI Consulting, as CJ just said. And I'm a recent LSU grad, graduating in my business marketing degree. And right now I'm pursuing a leadership and human resource development degree in my master's program.
Fantastic. Now, to open up today, I wanted to ask you, like, who has been the most impactful leader in your life, and how has that experience with them shaped you?
Without a doubt, definitely my father. He's kind of paved the way and went through his path of life to show me what it means to be not only a man, but a leader and to lead a family, to lead in the workplace, to lead in the community, how to step up and be a voice and never just be the person in the background, kind of watching everybody else lead. And professionally, I would say working alongside Dr. Herben has significantly expanded my understanding of leadership. He's challenged me to think beyond traditional leadership theories and focus on what actually prevents organizations from reaching their full potential. Through LTUI, I've learned that leadership isn't simply about inspiring people, but it's more about identifying the hidden barriers that prevent trust, collaboration, and transformation.
Drawing from these two leaders and all the experiences taught you, what would you say is your personal draw to be a leader? What is your personal call for it?
I've always been kind of the person that I've never been one to hold my tongue. And not saying that leadership means you're necessarily the most vocal person, but I feel like leadership comes with input and thought and group collaboration. So I've never been one to be shy away from the group collaboration or working with others to come to a common goal. So I've just always kind of had that leadership quality in me, I feel like no matter what I was doing, whether it was in sports or anything. Even if I wasn't the best player out there, I still felt like a leader.
What would you say is that inner drive to really speak out your opinion, to really always create that input and always put out to people?
Yeah, it really just comes from my dad. I'm not gonna lie, like that's just how he is, and growing up around him, just seeing how he acts, it's just instilled in me.
Now, I know you're also beginning a master's in leadership now. Could you describe some of your like biggest insights from that leadership program? How your experience in the field has either compared and contrasted with what you've learned in these programs?
My master's program kind of provides like the theories and foundation of leadership, like leadership models and different organizational behaviors, employee engagement, and different ways of strategic management. Working at LTUI has shown me how much more complex leadership is in practice. Organizations don't usually struggle because leaders lack intelligence. Many struggle because invisible behaviors or unhealthy cultures and organizational arrogance quietly undermine communication, innovation, and trust. So the research part for my studies kind of gives me the what, like what is leadership? But experience in working with LTUI is kind of giving me the why. Like, okay, why is this happening? How can we prevent it? How can we push this new idea?
What are some of the things that you feel like you started carrying along with you, like that you started adding to your leadership skill set that's really transformed you?
A certain type of culture that we hold each other to, a certain type of standard, like in meetings, how we conduct ourselves, how we talk outside of meetings, and building not only just a work relationship, but personal relationships with these people, things like that. Just different qualities that maybe I wouldn't have done working in the past. So now, even in my outside job, I try to carry these qualities like good communication with my coworkers and building an actual relationship with them as a person so that it's easier to communicate with that person.
What are like the most important aspects for an organization that they really needed to find when they envisioned the brand image?
You look at Nike and you automatically know what that brand is, but because they built so much behind that logo and that color palette, that's why you associate it with that. A brand is almost like the promise that people experience every time they interact with your organization. To make a vision for a brand, like before any actual marketing strategy can be developed, you have to figure out who you are as a brand. Why do we exist? What do we solve? What problem do we solve? And then what experience or what do we want people to associate with our brand? So logos, websites, social media just constantly should reinforce the answers to those questions. And that's how you kind of build the vision for the brand because it's like, okay, we have this idea. This is who we are. This is why we're here. Here you go. One mistake I think organizations make is trying to communicate everything to everyone. Strong brands communicate one clear, one concise value or thing, and everyone that agrees with that thing comes to that brand. I feel like brands try to be universal off whenever they're first starting and try to appeal to everyone, and it just doesn't that doesn't work.
How would you determine success for marketing it, pushing out that message, really reaching that audience?
How many people can we get this in front of? So obviously we started with zero and we ended up with like over 125 people in just the virtual launch yesterday. So, I mean, 2 days ago. So that's just a huge turnout when we look at this project that we've started not too long ago and to get it in front of that many people's faces to say, hey, I do want to join this virtual Zoom. They had to take out time of their day to join and be a part of something new. So that's just how we gauge that. Like, how many people are we actually putting this term in front of their face?
How would you really determine which directions and which avenues to really put the most focus on, especially through social media?
It's not really where you put the most focus. It's just making sure that you're pushing it in as many channels as you can. So instead of like our Instagram may be doing better than our Facebook, we're still gonna use Facebook because, there's people out there that have Facebook and don't have Instagram. So it's just taking advantage of all different aspects to get it in front of as many people's faces as we can. Purpose always comes before popularity. Reinforcing our purpose is always better than trying to blow up off of just some random video that's not gonna have anything to do with our message.
Like, what ways have you seen through marketing strategy that organizational arrogance starts to seep into organizations' public images?
Success in organizations can create blind spots, and success can also create complacentness. Organizations maybe become more focused on protecting their image than improving their culture. There's plenty of organizations that had deep-rooted culture in their organization, and one bad public move just ruined that organization and completely derailed them. You'll see messaging about innovation while employees don't even feel heard within the organization. You'll see campaigns about people first leadership while trust inside the organization continues to decline. That's organization arrogance becoming visible. The strongest brands remain humble enough to keep learning, listening, and adapting to new cultures, new ideas. Healthy branding reflects reality. Organizational arrogance tries to replace reality with perception.
How have you witnessed organizational arrogance at work?
Different workplaces I've worked, I've seen where leadership unintentionally dismiss employee feedback because they're in a leadership position or success convinced them that they already had all their answers and that the employees' input didn't matter. I've also seen different companies be resistant to change simply because that's how they've always done it. Those situations rarely begin with bad intentions, but it's often confidence, but it's really complacency. Like, okay, success happened doing this, but then they don't start innovating with the world. So one of the most valuable lessons I've learned through LTUI is that organizational arrogance isn't simply about your ego. It's about organizational behaviors that prevent you from learning, adapting, collaborating, and trusting the people you're working with. Recognizing those patterns early allows organizations to transform before they become organizational crises.
I wanted to ask, what do you believe are like the most unique challenges that we're running into as we enter this workforce?
I think for our generation, the problem is that a lot of big organizations now aren't really, they're so successful in a way that they kind of want to be isolated and they don't want to accept the new ideas of our new generation. But eventually it's going to come back and get them because once our generation decides, hey, this is what we're doing, this is what we're doing. And so if that organization doesn't fall in whatever the trend is, then it's not gonna last. Other unique challenges entering the workforce, I think a lot of people, we're kind of getting away from degrees, I think, necessarily, but it's more about what skills do you bring to the table. Like, yeah, you might have a marketing degree or whatever, but what are you doing with that and how can that benefit different organizations?
So, what ways do you think that these companies can start looking to really incorporate the feedback of the younger generations, of the emerging workforces?
If you listen to the feedback, because people will tell you what they want. I'll use GTA 6 as an example because it's like a big thing in the media right now. I believe that they have this marketing strategy where they are dropping trailers and whatnot, and they're leaving it kind of up in the air for everyone to speculate how the game's going to be. They're dropping certain little things here and there saying how the game's going to be, but not necessarily giving it all up yet. And so now they've opened the pre-order this week, and the game drops 5 months from now. So now it kind of leaves room for them to get feedback from their customers like, hey, why does this look like this? Hey, why does this look like this? Hey, why did this, and this? And gives them time in between to work towards what they're looking for. I think organizations need to always work towards what the customer is looking for.
The way GTA created the ideal conditions for the gamer to feel free into the world, be able to explore it completely how they want, and be able to really thrive and enjoy it. How would you say that organizations can do the same for their workforces?
Everyone has to be willing to continue to learn, and everyone has to be willing to accept feedback. And once everyone's able to do that, then it just makes it an easier flow in within the organization.
How would you describe the LTUI lifestyle if you could put it into one sentence, one motto?
Accepting and excelling as one.
Hmm. Is there any lasting messages or a topic that you wanted to bring up to the audience before we close out?
I just want to tell the audience, don't stop accelerating. Keep your foot on the gas. Keep going forward. As long as your left foot can go in front of your right foot, you can keep going forward. Keep making yourself a better person, a better leader, and just be a better person in everyone's life around you.
All these topics and more available with the full episode under the LTUI Leadership Exchange podcast subscription. Make sure to tune in. And always check out the book, Organizational Arrogance by Dr. Vic at bookdrvic.com. And check out our website, LTUIconsulting.com, to see how LTUI can help you and your organization overcome organizational arrogance and enhance and transform leadership. Well, that's all today, folks. Until next time on the LTUI Leadership Exchange.